Massive carp, our best poles, amazing venue. You don't want to miss this one. We really are testing these poles to the absolute limit. Is there anything more exciting than catching big fish on the pole? This is so much fun, I'm absolutely loving it. Look at the size of that thing. Well, if you had any doubts about the XTR range, this video really is for you. We've nailed the tactics for sorting out these bigger fish. The one thing you have to do is... So, you are joining me today at a very special venue. We've brought the XTR 200, we've brought the XTR 300, and what we're going to try and do today is really test their limits. I've hooked one already and it is absolutely pulling like a train. 0.26 straight through. So we've got really strong gear on, but hopefully if I can hook a few of these fish, we can really test it out to the very limit of his capability. I got a feeling this one's going to take me a little while to get in, since I've hooked it at 13 meters and I haven't really been able to get any pole back yet. It's basically just swam off to the middle of the lake and just sat there. So I don't know quite how big this is, but I'm going to have a really good go at getting it in. It feels absolutely massive. So yeah, I'll join you in a few minutes when I've got it under a little bit more control and hopefully somewhere near the landing net. Wow! What a way to start. That is incredible. Look at the size of that. That is definitely the biggest fish I've ever caught on the pole. So we've just got him out, put him in the cradle really nice and safe, just to have a proper look at him and take some nice photos. But what a way to start. This fish is just incredible. I think that's about the average stamp in this lake, that sort of size. It's 20 odd pound, it has to be. So hopefully a few of these, and then maybe if I feel like I've got the minerals, later on hook something a little bit bigger. But we're going to get him back in the lake now nice and safe. Don't feel it's right to keep them in the landing net the whole time. Just put them in a cradle and just keep them a little bit safer, because they are absolutely massive fish. What a way to test out some of the ultra power poles, the hooks, the line, the elastic, everything. So well, I'm going to get him back and hopefully catch you a few more. So obviously when you're fishing for fish this sort of size, it's a little bit different to fishing for like your smaller carp and your smaller F1s. You can imagine these fish, when they come in your peg, they just eat so much bait. So what I'm thinking today is, at the beginning of the session, what I've done is I'd literally just filled a 250ml pot up of a mix of 2 mils corn and 6 mil pellets, a few different size particles just to keep the fish in the peg a little bit longer. But I don't think when you're fishing for fish like this, fishing with a kinder pot, loose feeding bait's quite right. You want like a volume of bait in a small area. So I'm going to feel, obviously just caught that one, it's 20 odd pound, it had to be. So instead of just messing about trying to catch on a kinder pot, I'm just literally going to go straight back in with another 250ml pot of bait. I'm going to fish with like double corn on the hook to start off with. I caught that one on double corn, which is a really good start, but I got a feeling whenever I fished abroad for fish like this, worms have always been brilliant. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off fishing with just a 250ml cup every time I hook one or get a bite, and then I'm going to start with double corn on the hook. But if I feel like they're in my peg and I can't catch them, I will get some worms out and put like 2, 3, 4 worms on the hook, and just sit there right in the middle of my bait, a big standout bait. And hopefully get those carp coming in and picking your hook bait out. One thing that is mega important when you're fishing for these really big fish, obviously they're quite old, these fish, and they're very cute, they're very clever. So I just feel like when they come into their peg, there's only going to be 1 or 2 fish coming into your peg. If your hook bait or your rig starts moving about, there's a very good chance that you might spook them out of your peg. So one thing that's really important for me is that you fish with a pole support on. What I'm doing, I'm just literally flicking my rig out to the side, lining the float up right where I've just put that pot of bait. I'm going to put that pole on the pole support and I'm going to hold my float dead still. I think it's really important because you're not going to be getting hundreds of bites. It's not like you're going to go in here and just get bites within a couple of minutes. You're going to have to sit here today and wait and be patient. So if I'm just sitting there and waiting and being patient, there's no way if I hold my pole like that, I'm ever going to get as still as if I use a pole support. Well, that didn't take long to catch the second one. So like I said, what I've done, I've just went in, straight in after catching that one, put another 250 mil of bait in, of pellets, 6 mils corn and 2 mils. And I reckon within probably 4 or 5 minutes, I've had another bite and hooked this one. This one hasn't swam off quite as much as the first one, which is nice, but I've got a feeling it's probably not woke up yet. Oh yeah, here we go. I'm gonna have to follow this one out, I think. This felt a little bit bigger when I hooked it, the actual weight of the fish. So I got a feeling this could be even bigger than the first one. I think this is probably one of the most important things I've learned about playing big fish. When you get it back to this distance, obviously everything's like locked up as such with your elastic and your top kit. It's just not to go too over the top with pulling, because everything is under maximum strain at this point now. And when you start seeing the fish, you start getting a bit excited and you start pulling a little bit too hard. If anything's going to break, this is the point where it's going to break. Just literally just take your time, let the fish swim round in circles. That's what you'll find with really big fish. They'll come to this distance and they'll basically just swim in circles around on the bottom. Oh wow, look at that. Another absolutely monstrous carp. Tell you what, the top kits feel, oh look at the size of that. It's not, I don't think it's quite as big as the first one, but it's still massive. End of the day, a fish of this power, you've got to have a little bit of respect for it, because I feel like it could swim off if it really did want to. But it's being well behaved, and just wait till it pops up and slip the net under it. There we go, we're nearly there. There we go. Good size of that then. Another absolutely massive carp on the XTR 300. Well, there you go, second fish of the afternoon. Not quite as big as the first one. I reckon this one's probably touching 20 pound, probably 19 to 20 pound, but still an absolute monstrous fish to catch on the pole. Oh, that was always going to be one, wasn't it? Did you see that bite?
Yeah.
The pole feels so strong there. It does really feel strong. Nice. Oh wow, look at that. So there we go, fish free. Ben, what was the challenge? 3 fish on the 300, 3 fish on the 200?
Yeah.
So that's took about a half hour to do the 300. So fingers crossed, I'll go and get the 200 out, pot some bait in and hopefully catch another 3 absolute units on that pole. But the fish are absolutely stunning as well, they're immaculate. That's virtually a leather, that one. There's one line of scales going across his back, but virtually a leather. I think that's probably the smallest one we've had, maybe just under 20. But I tell you what we could do, we could get the 200 out and feed some bait in the margins. That's probably where you would call the biggest ones. So yeah, that'll be a true test for it. So yeah, we'll get this one back and we'll go and get the 200 out. Right, so the rig I'm using for these size fish today, I don't think you could probably get a much more simple rig, to be honest. I've actually decided to fish straight through today. Putting knots in your line does weaken it a touch. So what I thought, if I'm fishing for fish of this size, just fish straight through. and then just keep everything nice and strong. But I'll start with the hook. So the hook itself is a size 10 X3. Obviously we're fishing with sweet corn today, 2 sweet corn on the hook, which fits on absolutely perfect. But if we did want to fish with like 2 or 3 worms, 10, 12 maggots, something like that, we've hooked probably getting on for a dozen fish now, and we've not lost one. These for big fish are just incredible for it. The main line itself, like I said before, I've gone straight through and I'm using 023 Submerge. Submerge is probably the most durable line that Matrix use. So I thought to myself, why not use the strongest and the most durable line that Matrix make? We've got a 1 bulk of shot, no fancy shotting patterns. For this size fish, the one thing you have to do is literally get your rig in, keep it dead still. So I don't think fishing with like a fancy tapered bulk or a bulk and 2 droppers is going to make any difference when you fish for these size fish. 1 bulk, literally probably 40 centimeters from the hook. The float itself is a new one, Matrix Carp Steady. The reason why I picked this, not only is that round rugby ball shaped body keeps it really stable in the water and really still, which is ultra important when you're fishing for these small fish, big fish. It has a 2.2mm hollow bristle and a 0.8 carbon. We've got 2 number 8 back shot. I'm fishing with a bump bar, a pole support. So what I'm doing is I'm just dipping those 2 number 8 back shot in the touch of the water, and that's holding everything dead still. Elastic wise, Matrix 18 to 20 slick. After hooking these fish, I think I probably could have brought the 20 to 22. And that would have been absolutely fine. But I had this already in my pole, so I thought I'm going to come over and use something that I do use quite often in England. But when I go back, I will definitely look at getting some 20 to 22. Obviously, power top kit, ultra important. When you get these fish in close, you really need to like bottom the elastic out and just try and gently pull them to the surface. They are absolutely massive fish, so you've got to take your time, but if you use the right gear, you should get most of the fish out. Well, that didn't take long, did it, mate? I thought we swapped to the XTR 200, and I thought, well, I'm not just going to come a section closer and just carry on doing the same thing. So I potted 500ml of micros, 6s and corn in the same depth as water what I've been fishing out there, just where it starts to slope up, virtually in the edge. And I left it 10 minutes, had a quick sandwich, and then dropped it in. About 30 seconds, it just went whoa, like unbelievably quick. But it's so nice to fish with that XTR 200. It's almost because it's a little bit slimmer. It's really, really nice to fish with. And that's another monstrous catfish. We've got an albino catfish. Look at that, Ben. What do you call that? Is that an albino catfish or a ghosty catfish? What is it? I don't know. I've never seen anything like that. No. I didn't even know they were in it. I thought it felt a bit small. Or is that a grass carp? I don't even know what it is. That's so bad, I don't know. No, is that a grass carp though? Look, there it is, look. Yeah, it's a grass carp. Can't believe I thought that was a catfish. Look at that. Look at that then. Oi! Oh, this place never fails to amaze me. Another great big fish. But I don't even know what it exactly is. It's a grass carp, but do they call that like a ghosty grass carp? I don't know what it is.
Ghosty grass carp.
Do you reckon is that about right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like a ghosty, it looks like white.
Let's have a look at it.
To my surprise, we've got, I don't even exactly know what it is. It's a grass carp, but is it ghost grass carp, like an albino sort of style one. I don't know, I've never caught anything like it, so I wouldn't know. But look at that, absolutely gorgeous fish. This lake never fails to amaze me, what you can catch. Just potted some bait in the edge. They do have a tendency to go in a bit mental, these grass carp, when you get them out of the bank, so we're not gonna hang around too much. But that is just topped my weekend off, that has. I caught that one in about 30 seconds after putting that bait in, but I've hooked it, and oddly it's literally come straight to the surface, and it's the first common we've hooked all day. But then since coming to the surface, it's gone absolutely mental, and it's definitely nice to hook a common after catching all mirrors all day. Oh, no, it's definitely in the mouth, 100%. I reckon we'll be able to get it. The way it went off, I was sort of thinking it might be foul hooked, but it's not, it's definitely in the mouth. So that, for me, is, no, definitely, I was going to say probably, but definitely the best weekend's fishing I've ever had. It's just been incredible. Obviously we caught some ridiculously big fish yesterday, and then we've caught some massive carp today on the pole. We've caught a grass carp today, we've caught mirrors, we've caught commons, and it hasn't been too hectic, it hasn't been too easy, but enough bites and enough big fish to keep the excitement up. But just an incredible venue. Like, the fish are just massive, and there's so many of them. It's very, very picturesque. Everything about it is just perfect, really. Shame we haven't got something as similar to this in England. Oh mate, look at the size of that. What the hell? Mate, it's not fitting in the net. Look at that. And it's a common. We've come here today to test out the XTR 200 and 300, and these fish have really put them to the test. We've caught a grass carp today, we've caught mirror carp to probably 27, 28 pound, and then we've ended it on this one. I don't know how big this one is. It's got to be 25 plus. It's just absolutely massive. So yeah, I hope you enjoy watching this. I'm definitely going to watch it back as soon as it's released, and hopefully you enjoy watching it as much as I have being here and catching these fish.